Hi everyone, it's Kimberly. How is everybody? Good morning. I have a very important message for you, and it is for twin flames in particular. I want you to stay tuned. I'm going to be doing some automatic writing. So I'm actually going to channel the divine right as I make this video. What I've received is that we are going through a dolphin activation, and the messages are so high that I've been able to access them over the past few days, but some of them have been for me personally and some of them have been for the collective. So rather than showing you all the notes and channeling that I've done, I figured it would be best for me to just sit down and channel directly through the divine as I make the video so that you know exactly what is for the collective, right? Dolphins have been coming in for about a month for me, like maybe a little bit longer, maybe a couple of months. But I saw an increase in this with my clients over the past like 3 or 4 weeks. And so much so that it's uncanny. The dolphins were just coming in as a symbol of the twin flames, louder and louder, more frequently, more frequently. And I know when that happens, like something's trying to get my attention. And so last night, I had a really crazy pull to sit down and channel. And Mother Mary came in, and she came in to bring the messages to me. She's here with us today too. And I work with her very closely. And some of you may know I'm doing a workshop that we're going to channel her this week. It's on the 27th if anyone wants to join. We'll be learning about Mary the Ascendant, and we'll be actually channeling Mother Mary's healing energy, and you'll learn how to work and communicate with her better. So that's on Wednesday, March 27th for anyone who's interested. You can sign up on my website, spiritualmaterialgirl.com. But anyhow, she is here. She was here with me last night too. She was really assisting in bringing in all the messages. So she wants to be here with us now. She has a hand in it. I don't really understand fully her connection, or whether it's just with me that she's opening up the channel for me, but somehow she's assisting me to get these messages, to receive them. So in a moment, I want to explain things to you, and then I'll start doing some writing and we'll see what messages come. Okay, so the dolphins use sonics, and so this is a card from Diana Cooper, and it did come up when I was tapping into these messages last night. I opened this deck. This card was the first card that just popped right out, and I just laughed. It says dolphin sonics purify and raise the frequency of water as they swim through it so that they can access, maintain, and pass on the wisdom of golden Atlantis and Lemuria. So we see the dolphins here in a different deck, which is the past life deck of Atlantis. Okay, so ancient wisdom. We're talking about memory in the water holding memory and frequency, the water holding wisdom as the dolphins spread their sonics, which is their frequency, through the water. They're purifying and raising the frequency of the water, okay? I don't know if any of you just saw, it's so weird because I just caught Teal Swan going live from Hawaii, and she was talking about how the water is so amazing there, and you can catch her on social media. She just posted it, and she was saying that it's because water holds memory, and we often associate dolphins in Hawaii and all of this, and I just thought it was like a great synchronicity to see that. So it says those dolphins who shimmer with aquamarine light, which again, we've got Mother Mary in her aquamarine mantle and light. So that doesn't surprise me either. Were the angels of Atlantis. They are mighty beings who help to hold the frequency of the oceans. Choosing this card invites you to tune in to the beautiful dolphins and access a message from them. So they have messages from us, but they're also working with us and channeling their frequency. So, it's not just that they have wisdom for us, but they also are helping us attune to the way that they communicate, and I'm going to explain that in a moment. Your guidance is to relax and flow with the current of ascension, knowing that the dolphins are telepathically imparting help and wisdom to you. And so that's what I wanted to touch upon, is that This is March 23rd, 2019. We are just coming to the sort of end of a Mercury retrograde phase. I know a lot of you, I mean, I have goosebumps when I say it, but a lot of you, and I can really only make the argument for the feminine because it's what I've channeled. It's the majority of who I work with, and I know from my own experience, like, a lot of you have been receiving telepathic messages from your twins in the past like week. Now, this isn't just like our normal telepathic connection. This has like times 10, times 20, you know, and I want you to know that you're not crazy. You're not making it up. Not only has this been coming through dreams, but it's also been coming in our waking state. So I've heard a lot of you say, like, I feel like I got a download from my twin. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. I'm going to validate that for you, okay? You did receive a download from your twin. I'm going to start writing here because they're just showing me. We're getting an upgrade in our sonar. So we have sonar too. And what they're saying is that this upgrade in sonar is we communicate with our twins in the 5D, similar to the way that dolphins communicate through their sonics or through their frequency. And if you think about their frequency holding the wisdom of Lemuria or Golden Atlantis, they're saying that our wisdom is contained in this as well, like in the way that we communicate telepathically with our twin flames. So if you're thinking, well, how can 5D communication be so elevated? And it's because it's being elevated because all of the wisdom is coming through. It's like all the wisdom of the ancients, it's all coming through, okay? So it might not be tangible. It might not be words that you exchange with your, they're saying maybe it's not words, but it's in the knowing. It's like my hand's writing faster than my, you know what I'm trying to say. My mind's going faster than my hand. It's in the unspoken. It's in the resonance. It's in the echo that we're communicating all of this wisdom to our twin flames. So yesterday I posted something. This was before I had all of this downloaded to me. I was obviously on this wavelength, literally. I posted something on social media. I hope you guys follow on Instagram or Facebook, but it's at Spiritual Material Girl. And actually I'm going to pull it up on my computer so that I can read it to you, because it's like they were nagging at me yesterday about this, and I didn't realize why I was talking about sound in my twin flame message, but I was. And now that they're giving me the message and they're saying that it's in the unspoken, it's in the resonance, it's in the echo, it's like right at this moment occurring to me why I was writing this yesterday. So you can look it up, like I said, on social media, but I'm going to read it to you. I wrote, Twin Flames, as you step into your authenticity, the music of your soul vibrates louder and louder. It cannot go unheard. It is the beautiful song that calls forth your beloved. Your unique sound echoes through space and time. Focus not on the cry for the other, but rather on your own individual tune. For it is that which will call in and harmonize union. And the little meme that I created says, the song of your soul cannot go unheard. So this is what, I feel like lightheaded right now. This is what they're talking about. They're talking about the frequency of not just this, it's like, it's more than the song of our soul. It's the wisdom of our soul. It's the deep, deep knowing that even we don't maybe consciously know is being communicated when we communicate with our twins telepathically. It's in the unspoken. It's in the waves in between. It's in the frequencies in between. It's in there. It's embedded. And our twin is receiving that information. They're showing it to me like this. Like, so say we have like a telepathic, message. You're having a conversation with our twin, right? Which I know you all know that happens, right? So you're having a telepathic conversation. And they're showing it to me like this. Like, there's waves, like there's frequency. This is the sound waves. And you might have like words that come through your conversation like that. But what they're saying is that all of this is vibrational wisdom. And your twin is receiving all of that vibrational wisdom. That's the wisdom of the divine connection. Okay? That's the wisdom of the ancients. That's the wisdom of higher beings. That's the wisdom of what this connection is at a soul level. Okay? So, I'm sorry, I can't write. It's hard for me to do this. Again, they showed me I needed to do this, but I hate writing on the spot. So I'm sorry if it looks like scribble, but so again, like if this is your telepathic conversation, you might receive like the words or the downloads that, this was him or her, and this was you, and this was him or her, and this was you. And you might have a conversation telepathically, but they're saying so much more is being communicated in between. Okay? And it's the wisdom of the ancients. It is the higher beings. It is the divine connection. It is the soul connection. It is the love. It is the deep, deep, deep. It is all of the pieces of the 3D that we are confused about, but at the 5D is clear. And just because we're having like this random conversation in our heads doesn't mean that more isn't being communicated between the twins. They are telling me that I'm going to keep using right facing pages to make it easier. They are showing me that when you have that communication in the telepathic, in the 5D, and it feels like a conversation. I'm going to draw it again. And so these are the words coming through. And this is everything unspoken in between. That, so we're going to put one of you over here. Let's say this is the divine feminine. And we're going to put the divine masculine over here. So they're saying that the question that you all have is, if you're having this download feminine, or those who identify with the feminine energy, like, is the masculine receiving it also? And the answer is this. Okay? It's yes. The answer is like they're saying like 100% yes. Even if they don't receive the literal conversation at the same time, they're receiving the frequency. They're receiving the divine knowing. So I think a lot of you struggle with receiving these 5D communications because you're like, am I making this up? I'm getting these signs, or I'm getting these downloads. Like, is my twin getting them? And they're saying even if your twin isn't getting it in the literal, or isn't getting it in through conversation in their mind, which a lot of times they do, a lot of times it is like a back and forth communication. That can definitely happen. Yes, that happens too. But even if not, there is a frequency that they are receiving, much like the dolphins when they swim. And when they swim different courses and they go far apart, and they can communicate with one another, and they can feel that frequency, and they can find one another very quickly. I think it's called like echolocation, or I forget. It's through their sonics. They're bouncing frequency off of objects, so that they know where they are, and they know where other things or other dolphins are. So, and I'm sorry if I'm not explaining that totally scientifically, but that's in essence what it is. Okay, so What do we need to know right now at this time? What do the dolphins want us to know? They want us to know that you're receiving telepathic upgrades. We're going through a dolphin, twin flames are going through a dolphin activation. So what they showed me last night was that this is the end of 3D separation. And you might be going, well, I'm not in union with my twin yet. And they're saying, oops, sorry, you guys. And they're saying, yeah, well, you're not in union maybe with your twin, but you are ending the 3D separation because of your ability to trust in this and access this. And actually, they want us to be feeding this. They need your buy-in. Like, they want us to understand it, because if we don't understand it, then we can't believe in it and have faith in it. And the more we doubt the 5D connection and the telepathic messages and the dreams that we're having and all of that, the harder it is for us to remove the lines of fear, because it's the fear that's keeping us in separation. You see, it's the fear. It's not just the fear within us, because we have to work on that. Remember I said we're working on our own unique sound, our own individual sound is what is going to magnetize the twin to us and harmonize the connection. And we can't begin to hear that sound, our own true unique sound, until it won't be fully uncovered until we get through all the fear within us, right? Till we bring that up into the light, till we work through those wounds, till we figure out what's keeping us out of the sound that is so authentically us, that unique voice, that unique resonance, that unique sound. But what they're saying is that's on the 3D, okay? That's the fear templates that we're shedding, that are needing to be shed so that we can transfer them into love, so we can transfer them into trust, right? Now, once we do that, then our 3D sound matches up with this higher frequency knowing. The higher frequency knowing already knows what this connection is. The higher frequency knowing is already your highest self. It's like the two of you bouncing messages from your highest selves. But in the 3D, our unique sound, it needs to be developed, and it will only be developed through dissolving the fear. And we can only dissolve the fear through bringing it to light and shifting into love. It's not a denying the fear, it's just a shift. It's a transmutation into love. So your unique sound, and I'm using this as a metaphor in the 3D, is actually you stepping fully into your power, into your authenticity. That's the vibrance or the vibration of your soul that will attract in your twin flame. It's you as a whole being. It's you completely immersed in the song of your own soul. And the only way you can even hear that, it's not just your twin that needs to hear that completely authentic. It's like they're saying 100% authentic song, which is uniquely you. And we can't, it gets covered up by fear. Okay, so the fear is masking that song. Okay, it's making that song, come out with an imbalanced expression, imbalanced polarities, imbalanced expression, communication. Even the frequency that you're vibrating in the 3D is getting covered up by fear. So we want to hear the truth of your voice, not just your literal voice, but the song of your soul. And the only way to do that is to dissolve the fear, because the fear is masking this. And we cannot attract in the twin flame to harmonize. We can attract the twin to mirror the fear, but we can't call them in to harmonize in that union that we want to create until we have dissolved that fear within ourselves, and that we can hear the song of our soul completely. That's you hearing it first. Okay, that's another thing. You hear the true, I'm sorry, the table's shaking, the true song of your soul first. And that's your complete authenticity. That is you in your fullest expression, owning your power, balancing your polarities. And that's what calls in the harmonization. And it's the same thing for your twin flame. Once they get into their truth, then we can hear that song in the 3D and begin to harmonize. Until then, it's up here in between, and we have trouble trusting it. But they're saying if you begin trusting it, you're going to have an easier time stepping into your truth. It's like a layer of fear between the twins that's being removed. Sorry if this is all over the place. I'm trying to just allow it to come in and explain it as best as I can. So they want me to tell you specific messages for the divine feminine and the divine masculine through the dolphin wisdom. They keep saying, so they're saying go like this, 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 go like this. Like they're saying like the connection, it's like it's one. This is one. This is one within you. This is you. These two energies are one within you. Okay, here's the frequency of the knowing, of the connection. But then you're also, you know, one. You're also individuals here. You're connected even when you don't know it, even when you don't know it in the 3D. Like, your two sides are working always to harmonize within you, but then like your other half, and this is for true twin flame. Some of you are not in connection with your twin flame yet. You think you are, but you're not. So this might resonate for you, but you might have a hard time. But I'm specifically speaking to those of you who are truly in twin flame connections or going to be, so you understand this. So let's allow the messages to come through. So remember, it's always there. These two sides, whether it's you and your twin soul or it's the two sides within you, they're always connected. They're always trying to harmonize. They're always trying to find balance, okay? Like they're almost showing me the scales of balance here, right? So they're trying to find balance. And that's like you and your twin flame. You're always trying to find the balance. That's like what this whole connection is about. And the reason why the scales get tipped, right, is because of fear. And that's from, you guys know because you listen to me, but fear is from our childhood wounding, mostly, primarily, and that also could be our ancestral programming, ancestral DNA that we bring in, past life karma that we've recreated in this lifetime. That's where our fear stems from, okay? So for the divine feminine, we're going to pull cards, okay? So I'm going to just kind of jump around the decks and just go where I'm guided. They're showing me to use the crystal stack right now. So what does the divine feminine need to know from dolphin wisdom, from this dolphin activation? Okay. So they're talking about healthy boundaries. So feminine, some of you have been questioning whether it's been the right thing for you to pull away from the masculine if it hasn't been, let's say, kosher. Let's say that if it hasn't been healthy for you. And they're saying, like, trust in your, I have goosebumps, trust in your separation. You're giving the other person space to recognize their wrongs, to balance themselves. And this is you coming into your healthy boundaries is about alignment. And alignment is you aligning with the song of your soul, with your truth, with your connection to your divinity, with your ability to wear your crown. We cannot set healthy boundaries until we are in alignment with that. And it's very hard to feel that alignment when we're in a state of fear. So I think some of you who haven't done the real deep work at the soul level, like the inner shadow, the child work, the ancestral work, the past life work, if you haven't done that, you're going to come in and out of alignment and not be able to sustain it successfully. But I feel like a lot of the feminine are starting to come in or want to come into alignment, and they've already been starting to set those healthy boundaries. And it's, what you have to understand is, even if that creates a separation, I can't do this. This isn't in alignment for me right now. I need someone, I deserve someone who's going to, give me the full commitment, or the way that you're behaving is toxic. I need to pull away right now, or I can't be with you while you're still committed to someone else. Whatever that is, that's the truth of your soul. And when you're speaking the truth of your soul, nothing can go wrong. Remember what I said, that it's your song, your authenticity. You need to hear it first. You need to know what the truth of your soul is first before it will harmonize the union. So if you're standing in alignment with your truth, it's harmonizing the union. Even if on the 3D it's creating a separation, you're actually harmonizing the union by standing in your truth. So like in my intensive program, and if you work with me in soul coaching, after we go in and we help you heal your shadow and integrate your shadow and understand where things come from ancestrally and through your programming and through your wounding and through the past life karma that you brought in, and we help you heal that, the next thing I have you do is I have you redefine your worth and your values and your morals. Because we can't speak healthy boundaries until we know what our values, morals, and worth is. Because everything about a healthy boundary, that is the foundation, is knowing our worth, is knowing that and actually believing it and lining up with it from energetically, from behind the scenes. So this is not something that we can do out of alignment. So if you've been setting these things, these healthy boundaries, and it's creating separation, and then you're doubting, like, well, did I make the right decision? And, then you go back into the fear and you come out of alignment. They're saying, yes, you have, because in that moment you were in alignment with the truth of your soul and the knowing what you're worth and the knowing and that you raise the bar, and it's creating the space for the other person to recognize their wrongs, to come into alignment, to respect you. And you deserve that respect. And I do feel like this is for the feminine, she's sort of questioning, did I do the right thing? Because there's this physical separation, or there's this physical, yes, they're saying, yes, you did the right thing. You're doing the right thing because that's the truth of your soul. And actually, the illusion is that it's creating a separation, but in reality, the more you step into the truth of your soul, you're magnetizing your twin flame. You're actually you're stepping closer into union, okay? So for the masculine, we'll pull from this deck as well. We have forgiveness, and it did come up in reverse. So I was getting this a lot last night for the masculine. I want to pull a clarifier with that, because when it was coming up last night for me, when I was channeling, it was coming up around the parents, the father, the mother actually too. So let's just see what clarifiers we're gonna pull from the Ascended Masters deck and the Past Life, Early Life deck that I use. So clarify for the masculine, what is he forgiving? So it's unrequited love. Okay. So he's forgiving unrequited love. Which he didn't feel completely loved back. We're going to pull from the Ascension deck too. Okay, so this is the During Virtue Ascension. Oh, sorry, Ascended Masters deck. How many times am I going to knock my phone here on the tripod? Sorry, guys. This is not my usual setup, as you know. And it's early. I mean, it's not that early, but I feel like I just woke up, even though I woke up hours ago. They're saying nurture yourself. This also came up last night for me when I was doing the masculine reading and channeling. Tripod. So the nurture yourself card has come up. And this makes a lot of sense. Like, they're showing me forgiveness for his mother, for the mother who was absent, for the mother who couldn't give the nurturing, for the mother who left, for the mother who didn't prioritize him or didn't know how to show love all the way, or any way that he wasn't loved. Maybe it was that the father didn't have a harnessed sense of feminine energy. So he may have grown up in a very rigid environment, in a very strict environment with his father, where there was no harnessed feminine energy on the masculine side. Either way, what they're showing me is the missing feminine energy, and that he's healing that now. He's beginning to forgive that, so he can not only harness that within himself and open up to love, but he can forgive his beloved, because a lot of his distrust and, you know, the feminine's ability to love him, or this feeling like he can't trust her all the way, or that she's going to leave him or hurt him, or that, like, there's some masculine, divine masculine, that grew up with a very rigid father. So for those divine masculine, you haven't felt free, and this lack of freedom has created a constriction that has made you either rebel or become non-committal, or they're saying you are free, and you're free to love, you're free to trust. It's this trusting and forgiving the feminine. It's not the feminine's fault that you weren't free, or that there was that dominating masculine energy, and you're realizing that she's not the one that's trying to imprison you, and she's also not the one that's going to leave you. She's your beloved. She loves you. If she's giving you space, it's because you need to come into the knowing of forgiving the feminine, the lack of the feminine energy, the lack of love that you needed that wasn't given to you, and also the trust that was broken. Because I do get, for some of the masculines, the mother left, or the mother figure left, or she wasn't present in the nurturing way that he needed, or that the masculines, you know, that your father's feminine energy was just not enough and it was too rigid. So you're forgiving that. The only way, masculine, that you can bring this into balance is through forgiveness. And this pink tourmaline is all about bringing the love back into your heart. So that means nurturing yourself in a new way, caring for yourself, and also understanding that the love that's trying to make its way to you does not need to be punished or penalized because of the pain that you felt in your upbringing. It's very important. So I'm going to pull, we're going to keep pulling for the masculine and feminine. We're going to pull from the Wisdom of the Oracle. Okay, this deck right here. And I'm just going to give it a shuffle. So for the feminine, we want to know, I'm going to kind of hold this up, dolphins, feminine, masculine. For feminine and masculine, from the Wisdom of the Oracle, what else do we need to know? What do we need to know from this dolphin wisdom? What do the dolphins want us to know? For the feminine, it's round and round, which is, you know, the old story. It's funny because look at these light waves here. These are almost like the frequency sound waves I was drawing out for you. You see how they're showing the stars in between? And I was showing that as like maybe, kind of reminds me of this diagram right here, right? Kind of looks like that, but in a round way. They're saying you keep telling the story to yourself, feminine, and you're only believing the literal. Right? That's the literal messages that you're getting. But they're saying there's so much that's unseen, and that's where all the magic is. That's why all those stars are there. That's where all the magic is in the unseen. It's in the unspoken. It's in the deep knowing that's in your third eye, that's in your solar plexus, that's in your gut. You're needing to trust that now and let go of the mental thinking, those old stories, and the need to analyze and hang on to the literal, only the literal. Because like I've told you in this reading, so much more is making its way through to your consciousness and the higher consciousness of your twin flame. And you need to just trust it now. It's time to trust it. The difference between you trusting it and not trusting it is the difference between closing the gap in your unions, bringing, you know, everything closer, bringing your 5D timelines just in general in your life, anchoring them in. The more and more you trust. How do I trust, you say? How do I trust? Well, it's listening and then being aware when the fear comes in and why the fear is coming in. And then allowing that to sort of dissipate while you go into your deep inner knowing. Okay, so you're so much wiser. I also feel like a lot of this dolphin activation is opening up the third eye for both the feminine and the masculine, especially the feminine. So some of you who haven't been as open, you're receiving like crazy downloads right now, and you're going to be more and more. So get used to it, attune to it. You're going to need to trust it. The more you're in it, like you can't be in something all the time and be constantly fending it off and constantly doubting it. Like they're saying, you need to attune to it, because the more you attune to it and trust it, like you're going to be receiving more and more and more. More messages, clearer messages, more understanding. Just like I'm having these downloads, like you're going to receive them too. And for the masculine, we are supposed to know that, now this came up in reverse as well, by the book. It's about him, leaving this. This is an 11 card, okay? And it's like leaving the following the suit. It's leaving the pack, going out on his own, listening to himself, not following suit, trusting in this connection, sorry. I keep doing this. Sorry, you guys. It's trusting in this one, all right? And this is like his departure from the old paradigms. This is also like if there's people in his life that have been telling him what to do, or if he's scared of, injuring his reputation or shaking things up, or how will they perceive me? What will they think of me? How will I look? I can't do that. I could never break from the pack. That's all dissolving now. So he's leaving the pack is what the message that I get. He's going his own way. I also get that this coming in reverse is where he's struggling with some masculine leaving the karmic relationship, like understanding that again. So we have a karmic marriage or relationship, okay? So we've got masculine karmic relationship, marriage. Now, remember what I said, like this might be his purpose may have been to bring in children or to learn something from this connection. But as he's, even with children, even with a wife, even with a karmic partner, they're saying that the masculine knowing who he is, this is his truth, it will serve these relationships better. It's going to strengthen them. In the belief for the masculine up until now has been, if I leave these relationships, not that he's going to leave his children, but you know what I'm saying, if he goes out to find his truth and stand in his truth, whether that means that brings about a divorce or a separation or a new arrangement with his family, if he leaves the karmic partner, like whatever that is, he's been afraid that it's going to injure him in some way. There'll be judgment, ridicule, injure his reputation. How will I look? I'll let them down. I will be making it worse for them. And they're saying that too is an illusion. You'll actually be making it better for everyone. Remember, it's just like what I said before, is you stand in the truth of your soul and you resonate that, you resonate with your own truth, and then you start to vibrate that frequency out to the universe. It's the song of your soul that can come through clearly for all, so that the universe can deliver to you and match whatever it is that you're desiring to create. And that, I feel like, is your higher self coming through. And your higher self knows where you're going, knows where you need to go for your soul's evolution, for your growth, for the joy in your life, for you to really feel joy and happiness and fulfillment. That's coming through very strongly. Let's see if we get some messages around that, around the joy. Masculine. Positive change, they're saying. Okay, so it's coming up in reverse, and they're just saying positive change. It's coming. Like you have to believe that making this break is going to bring about that positive change. It's bringing joy. It's bringing truth. It's bringing you as an individual. It's bringing forgiveness. It's magnetizing so much into your life. Let's do some archangel messages, okay, from the archangel deck for the feminine and for the masculine. Some of you feminine have, like, you have the role of wife and mother solidifying for you in, like, starting in August of this year. That's clear. So that I can tell you, August is starting a new wave of unions with your beloved. They're showing me masculine is starting an awakening like you had in May. Okay, so masculines are going through a conscious awakening beginning in May. Many of them. And it's going to take 12 weeks for that to complete. Or not even, I should say, complete, because our awakening doesn't complete. But it's going to take 12 weeks for him to, like, really evolve. That's going to be August. And remember I was saying in my last video, like, we're going to see tons of unions, like, from May onward. And I really have been shown that there's going to come in August. That's when it's all going to start to happen. For some of the feminine, it means birth. It means fertility. it means literally bringing in a child. Like literally a baby, not your creative projects, like literally there's marriage in 2020, but you're going to set that up. It's being set up in 2019. Feminine, like if you've been wanting a baby or you've been thinking about this or feeling like that it's possible with your twin or getting the downloads that it's going to happen, they're saying, yep. It's like a yup. It's not even like a yes. It's like a yup. That's going to happen. Some of you have a baby coming in. Let's ask the archangels about that. So they're answering with beloved one. I'm helping you with your spiritual soulmate relationship. So they're bringing this in for you so that it's possible. Some of you think it's not possible to have the baby or to have the beloved union. And they're saying it's coming. I will clarify again. Like all the feminine are working on their mission. You guys are birthing creative projects. I see that. I do feel like it is also that. It is also, you know, your works of art and your books and you know, like that stuff is going to be popping at that time too. You're going to be birthing that. But I also get a whole sense that there's a fragment who's also going to be working on pairing up with the soul that's going to come in and be their child, their next child, or their only child, or the child that they've been wanting. That's possible. They're saying that is possible. If you've had it in mind, don't tell yourself it's not possible, whether it's your age or I don't know why you're telling yourself this, some of you, but for many of you, it's possible, and it's going to start to come into focus. You're going to start calling it in or anchoring it in after you come into union with your beloved in August. Remember I said the masculine's going through major shifts from May for about 12 weeks. That's about 3 months. And 3 months, that's May to June, June to July, July to August. Brings us through the next set of eclipses. We're seeing masculine, then go for it. He's going into action. He's going to get his beloved. He's going to find her and create the life. There's going to be marriage proposals. There's going to be babies made. There are going to be lots of unions in the collective. Lots. This is masculine leaving the karmics. This is masculine leaving the judgment. It's him going out on his own. It is the positive change. Let's see what the archangels have to say for the masculine. Counselor. Okay, so this was another... You will not recognize the masculine when he comes out of this, much like you when you went through your ascension. Like I know when I went through my first 3 months of my ascension during the twin flame, like it was actually sparked for me 3 years ago in May. So I feel like the masculine is going through, and a lot of you 3 years ago in like April, May is when yours started too, because I know there's a whole wave of you who that's when it was happening in spring of 2016. Now, that's for you, feminine. Now, masculine's going through that. He's going through that, and he's going to be a different person come August. And I do see him teaching. And there's that message came through last night when I was channeling. You are a natural counselor. Many people will benefit from your guidance and reassurance. Masculine, you're going to be teaching too. You're going to be making videos with your beloveds. You're going to be teaching. You're going to be starting your own practices. You're going to really be a different person. Giving back, you know, I feel the masculine healing addictions, giving back in that way, helping others heal their addictions. So the bottom of the Archangel deck, I just flipped it, is divine order. Everything is how it needs to be right now. Look past the illusion. See the underlying order. They're saying is the more you come into your truth, that order is See these scales? Remember I just drew the scales? That's it. Everything's balancing. The fear is dissolving. You're trusting. The space that you see, the separation that you see is an illusion. I feel like I'm going to use the Angel Therapy deck, okay? Masculine, we're going to see more awakened masculines after August, leading the collective, stepping forth, teaching, counseling, helping others, serving, uniting with their beloveds on the mission, starting their own missions. So, feminine, they're saying you need to honor your deep emotional sensitivity. Okay, so this is about you learning how to manage your empathic gifts. Again, I feel like this goes in line with this healthy boundaries card, because this is how you protect your own garden, is having these healthy boundaries. And as an empath, you need to harness your empathic gifts by honoring your sensitivity and not sacrificing it, not sacrificing yourself to others. And that's the difference between being empathic and masochistic. Masochistic is when we're tying ourselves to painful people, situations, and we are giving of ourselves without even feeling that we're being beat up. We're being overburdened. We're not even feeling ourselves. Our self doesn't even exist. We're overgiving. We're, because of our wounds, because of that. And they're saying, go into your emotions right now, feminine. Feel the feelings. I also feel like this is a sign for not only just managing our empathic gifts, setting healthy boundaries to protect our self and our inner reserves and honor ourselves. It's not protect, it's honor ourselves. It's honor where we are at. But it's also, if you're feeling sad or you're feeling love, or you're like this, a lot of this has been coming up during Mercury retrograde. Like, feel it. Allow yourself to feel it. It's okay. Even if there are resentments and anger and things that you would be hard to forgive to your twin flame, it's okay to feel love and allow that to come through for you. You must. That's the truth of your soul. If you're denying love in any level for yourself or for the other, nothing's going to go authentically in the physical. So let the truth let it come through. Honor your sensitivity. It's not a curse. It's a blessing. Just have to learn how to work with it. And for the masculine, his third eye chakra is opening. They're saying it's safe for you to see the energy of love in all its forms. Okay, we got that message. We've been getting that message that, especially in May, this awakening that he's having is really blowing his third eye open for the masculine. Some of you can relate to that when you went through your more conscious awakening. Now, for the masculine, up until now, they've been learning their lessons very much through karmic partners, the karmic lessons. This is different. I see 70% of the masculine collective actually going through a conscious awakening. They're watching the videos. They're learning. They're taking the classes. They're like finding the knowledge. They're actually proactively in their ascension, like we were. Like some of you were like a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago. Whenever you went through your dark night and awakening, he's going through a massive immersion of awareness, and his third eye is being blown open. That means he's coming more into his divine feminine gifts as well. And the bottom of this deck is in reverse, is heal away addictions. Remember I said this feels like both the masculine and feminine are being truthful with themselves about like where they've been giving too much, where they've been maybe addicted to sugar or alcohol or things that haven't been healthy for them. And now they're helping others to heal those addictions. And it says it's time to let go of behaviors that are blocking you from your heart's desire. Remember I said honoring your truth. Those addictions are masks for our truth. They're a way that we can stay outside of our truth. They're masking. They are escape. They are covering up what we truly know, like what's best for our health, or what's best for our emotional body, or what's best for our physical body, what's best for our mental body, what's best for our spiritual body. Those addictions have been covering that up. They're saying, ask Archangel Raphael to help you with this healing. So, in particular, I feel like the masculine is healing some addictive behaviors that are opening him up to a new level of truth at this time. But no doubt both the masculine and feminine have been working on this. Let's see, bottom of the wisdom of the oracle deck is why in reverse. Why? So when you're asking, like, I think that's been answered. Why is it like this in the physical? Well, because it's just an illusion. Everything is in divine order. Okay? Everything is in divine order. Why is it so hard? Why is he like this? Why is she like this? Why feels like you're looking at things as a fixed state? Why has this happened? This is also saying let go of the past. Stop looking at things like, stop looking at the past outcomes as dictating the future. Why has it been so unfair? Why haven't I found the love yet? Why haven't I been able to create this yet? Why has he been so awful to me? Why has she been, why has she left me? These are all questions that are hung up on the past. And they're saying the past does not dictate the future. In fact, there's a new and better outcome coming for all of you. You must believe. You must believe in not analyzing, the 3D. Not this literally, but reading in between the lines. Trusting in that frequency, right? Trusting in the unspoken, trusting in the deep knowing. There's a deep knowing that's coming through. And it is in your third eye. It is in your solar plexus. It is in your gut. And you need to trust. Let's ask I keep going because I just feel like more messages want to come through. So feminine and masculine, let's ask, how can we trust this telepathic connection better? Well, this is the Ask Your Guides deck. So for the feminine, they're saying you're restricting yourself from feeling joy. And the more you get into playfulness, it's going to pull you into alignment. You're doing too many mental activities. You're doing too much thinking. You're doing too much work. You're restricting yourself from having fun, being playful. That's keeping you locked in your mental mind. It's keeping you locked in sort of a prison. And they're saying as soon as you unrestrict yourself and go have fun and go play and go experiment, and you're going to find an alignment, and that alignment is going to allow you to trust. Okay? That really, look at those two cards. So similar. It's about, in one sense, being locked into that story. In another sense, going into our divine knowing. It's about all this magic at play all the time, and that we can access it. And allowing ourselves to access the joy in the physical realm will allow us to trust in the magic of the unseen. Okay? And then for the masculine's moving into, over the next year, he's moving into a more heart-centered business. I got that message last night too, when I was channeling that, like, after the masculine goes through this awakening at a higher level, which many of them will, come into their truth, leave the karmics, make the changes, and come into more conscious awareness, they are actually going to be leading the pack. They're going to be teaching from a heart-centered space. They're going to be, no longer by the book. This is what I have to do to make money. This is what I have to do. I have to follow the pack. I've got to do what my parents, would want me to do, or what society tells me to do. No, it's like I am now in my own heart. He's leading with his feminine energy. He's leading with his intuition. He's teaching what he just learned. And money's coming, love is coming, abundance, connection, all that's coming for him. Okay? And the bottom of the Ask Your Guides deck is life force energy, Aphrodite. Okay, so I want you to look at it upright. It came in reverse for us. So this is about renewing our life force energy. And we have a 4-5 here. I feel like this is that Aries energy that we're going into in April. And going into May, there's a lot of life force energy that's going to be ignited. Fire energy, fire card came up for me in the Ascension deck last night. And I want to read it to you actually. See if we can find it. I'm not going to try to pull it here, but I do want to read it to you. And then I'll leave you with that message. I know this isn't an April reading, but I do feel like this is like a foreshadowing for what's to come, as April and May will be big months for the collective. It's funny, in this Ascension deck, I have never, ever, I've used it for years, and I have never pulled the fire card, and it came up last night, and I was like, oh, very interesting. Let me find it for you. It's coming, I promise. So we'll talk about that. So we're going into that. Life force energy is the energy that is able to be, it's like the energy running through your veins, but it's not just the energy in your physical body. It's representative of your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual bodies being in harmony, being unconstricted, unrestricted. And when they integrate your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual bodies, your life force energy rises. So this is about allowing our feelings, allowing our passions, allowing our truth, because that's what's helping this to rise. So here's the card that came up as I was channeling last night, Fire. It says, fire transmutes the old and takes the new to a higher frequency. Archangel Gabriel supervises Thor, the elemental master of fire, and his salamanders. Your guidance is to ask them to transform the energy of conflict, then spread peace, warmth, and nourishment to people everywhere. You can ask fire to help you eat the right food so that you have the perfect fuel for your ascension journey. It will also ignite your aura and keep your chakras fifth dimensional and glowing so that you attract many others to you and lead with inspiration. So again, this is all tied into life force energy, nourishing your body, allowing your truth, raising your passions, raising your fire, raising your Kundalini energy. We're going to feel this a lot between April and May. I feel like that 13 is 4, 4-5, 4-5 energy. This is what we're working on. And that's going to really set things on fire in terms of not only stepping into your truth, but like anchoring in your 5D timelines. You know, it's saying it will ignite your aura and keep your chakras fifth dimensional and glowing, right? And it's going to enable you to anchor in your 5D timelines. That's the affirmation is, I invoke fire to light my way to the new golden age. You are the golden age. You are creating the golden age by coming into your truth. Okay, so we'll leave it at that. I hope that's been helpful. Sorry if it was all over the place, but there was just so much coming through, you guys. I didn't even know how to get it all out. So again, if you want to work with me, private session, or sign up for the Mother Mary workshop, you can book a reading or a session on my website, spiritualmaterialgirl.com. I'll see you guys next time. Love you. Bye.